Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Media. Today, I am joined by special guest Key to discuss that Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Key, how are you doing in light of this announcement?
Dude, I am ecstatic. I was up all night just waiting for that trailer. I'm still on this Kingdom Hearts high, and I'm just sitting here. But yeah, no, I'm doing awesome, and that whole announcement absolutely blew my mind, and I'm still kind of just quaking.
Quaking,
after
yeah,
it.
I like that term.
Quaking.
Yeah, so I guess before we talk about the trailer itself, I do want to talk about the circumstances of the reveal. So I didn't even know they were doing this until the night before. And then I saw, like, oh, they're doing the 20th anniversary stream. And in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, well, the NVIDIA leak said Kingdom Hearts 4, if you are familiar with that. And, of course, like,
I am familiar, yeah.
Is definitely happening now. That's a whole different topic. But for some reason, I didn't think they would do this here. I guess I should have known with, like, the death of E3 and everything that they would want to do it on their own terms. But, like, I think back to the Kingdom Hearts 3 reveal, I'm like, oh, that's Sony. This should be in a Sony thing. Evidently not. So I woke up and I saw this trailer and I was like, oh, okay. I guess we're doing Kingdom Hearts 4 right now. So I don't know. I thought it was funny. What else? And they announced a new mobile game, correct? Also, Missing Link.
Yeah. So the whole deal with that, right? I didn't expect Kingdom Hearts 4 either. It was like the last thing on my list because normally with these things, you know, we get like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 spin-off games before we get our next number title. And so far since then, we've only had about 2, if you count the mobile stuff, right?
Yeah.
With the mobile game, that's a whole other thing I want to get into if you're in for that.
Sure. Yeah.
It's actually funny because it's like a weird mix of things, right? Kingdom Hearts 3 graphics, but it takes like the plot of the mobile games, like right after. It's like a sequel to the mobile game.
Interesting.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Is there anything in particular you'd like to know about it, or anything you think I should share?
I mean, there's so much. Because like I don't even know. Obviously, I watched back cover and was that 2.8? Yeah, it was 2.8. So I watched that.
Yeah,
I know very little. So let's not go down that rabbit hole today, I guess. Unless necessary
right.
When talking about Kingdom Hearts 4. So let's just talk about the trailer. I'm gonna have it on repeat while we're talking here.
Good idea.
This trailer is really good. It sets so much intrigue, and then you see. Dude, I just love everybody posting this picture of Sora on the couch. It's like
it's everybody's profile pic.
Yeah, literally.
This happens with any new big game release. Everyone has the same exact profile picture for like a week. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him waking up.
So I guess okay. We're gonna talk about Worlds later, but I guess let's just digest this trailer one by one. And I'm sure, okay, so Lost Master Arc, obviously. There's more. I saw are doing an analysis, so go check out Key's channel for like an in-depth analysis. However, first thing I want to talk about, and if there's something before this you want to get to, we can. Endor is in the game. Endor's in the game. Straight up.
I know. Look, I didn't even catch on to that. I didn't catch on to that,
neither,
but when I woke up, it was like,
yeah,
they're like, that's a foot. I'm like, oh.
And then I watched the trailer again, and I'm like, bro, that's literally the Battlefront 2 loading screen. It looks the exact same. Like, why did I not see this? So yes, as confirmed as it can be without direct confirmation from Square Enix, Star Wars is in the game, which is in of itself insane. That's insane.
Absolutely, it is. And I talked about this a little bit before, like in my review. When it comes to like Endor and stuff, I think that this is only just like a signal of sorts, because up until now with Disney properties and Kingdom Hearts, we've mostly stuck entirely to animated stuff. The exception being Pirates of the Caribbean, right? But I think that since this world that we're in, Quadratum, since it's a world of unreality, like an opposite of the reality of Kingdom Hearts, it's gonna have something to do with like live action films from Disney. So we're gonna get Star Wars, we're gonna get Marvel superheroes.
We are definitely getting Marvel.
we're definitely getting Marvel. That goes without saying, 100%.
We'll get to that
but
later.
we will. But yeah, man, it's just so crazy. I can't. I have no word.
Yeah, starting with Star Wars is just, that's a statement.
That is a statement.
So
lightsaber Keyblade. Anyone?
Oh, absolutely. So okay, so then we go to this. I love he's just in like a modern apartment, which is great. And then I just want you to explain to me who this girl is. I know she's from the mobile games because I saw your reaction. You immediately knew her name, and I'm like, oh, I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
So can you explain to me what exactly is happening here?
All right. So here's the deal. The reason that everyone is freaking out about this, right, is because, well, spoilers. This character's dead.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she's just dead.
Oh, okay.
Straight up, like she got knocked the fuck out.
No, you're good. You're good. No worries. I do it on occasion too. It's fine.
She got executed. We'll say that. And it was later revealed that it was actually one of the main characters. Won't say who, because it's not entirely important. I'd rather you find out for yourself someday. And just to see her back and explaining how Quadratum is like an afterlife. Boy, that means Sora's actually dead too.
Right. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, we kind of knew that though, right? At a certain point
Yeah.
in 3, we kind of knew that, but they're really going into it. I didn't think this was going to be it. Like, he's dead.
He's straight up dead, and he's interacting with other dead characters, which means that we could see him interact with even more dead characters that we saw at the end of like Kingdom Hearts 3. You know how Ericus and Xehanort died. There's other characters that we could potentially see from the mobile games. Dude, the possibilities are endless. Endless.
I love Nomura's ability to just take something and like I felt like I had such a decent grasp on what Kingdom Hearts was capable of. And now he's just like, nope, it could be anything.
No.
So
it's just like it's impossible to know everything about Kingdom Hearts.
Right. So this Quadratum is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is Yozora's world? Is it not Yozora's world?
So that's another thing that's also kind of tough, right? Yozora, from what we can tell from like the final ending cutscene secret movie of Kingdom Hearts 3, is kind of like he has his own separate world, and it goes back to this whole thing way back called Versus 13. It was a canceled game, and it's supposed to be like a replacement for that. So he's from that world. Quadratum is like an afterlife for a bunch of worlds connected, like Disney, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. All the characters that die in those worlds would go to this one, is what the running theory is right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this, I think you fight Yozora and Raymine, so feel free to spoil me, and obviously everybody listening to this.
He does. Yes. And there's 2 endings to that, right? One where you die, Sora dies, and one where Yozora dies, but in the end they're both like dead.
They're both.
It's confusing.
So
it's confusing.
Yozora is gonna play a key role in this, correct? I assume.
Yes.
He has to.
Yes. Absolutely, he has to.
Yeah.
There's no way. But I did see something, right? I've been trying my best to keep up with the news as it's coming out. But apparently there's also like a soft confirmation that there's a Yozora standalone game in the works.
I was about to say that, dude. Because I remember when I was playing through the Toy Story world, and I saw the little shop with VRM Rex in it, I was like, oh my god, this is 13 versus 13. And then you see more of it with the post-credit scene or whatever, the good ending, I guess, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, they're going to make Versus 13 a game. Nomura is going to make this game. There is no.
He's gonna have his revenge.
Yes, they are going to release a game called VRM Rex. I guarantee it. With a full game, and they might not even. Yes. I don't even know if they'll necessarily tie it into Kingdom Hearts. They probably will in some way because he's crazy. But there will be a game with.
There has to be. I could see them working it like a Final Fantasy title, like kind of standoff and alone, and connect to Kingdom Hearts in some way. Because Final Fantasy characters, they show up in Kingdom Hearts all the time. It's nobody's business, but. It could go either way.
Right, well, I mean,
honestly.
You talking about this afterlife world having dead characters from Disney and Final Fantasy, I mean, that right there, I mean, they've been straying a little bit more away from the Final Fantasy characters forever. But, I mean, this would be a great way to bring that back with, no spoilers, but dead Final Fantasy characters would be awesome to see. So,
right?
Yeah, so, what else is in this trailer that we should talk about? I mean, there's this giant Heartless. Is there anything to talk about with him?
Not in particularly. I think it's kind of a unique design. It's kind of like it's an updated version of like the first Heartless you ever fight in Kingdom Hearts 1 and other games. There's people screaming and running away.
Humans. This is Kingdom Hearts Mario Odyssey moment.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, off topic, but I noticed that you did a video on One Piece Odyssey. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that game.
That game. I need to see more of
really
that.
Sick.
I'm hoping
Me too.
That's really good. So let's talk about. Okay, first of all, everybody's saying, they show gameplay. It's not gameplay. It is. Is it though?
It is.
It's like an engine Kingdom Hearts 3. Sure. Yeah, it is. It's very similar to the Kingdom Hearts 3 reveal, where like it is gameplay. I don't know exactly how accurate it's going to be to the actual game though. But
the final game, it's a working title, so things could be changed all the time. But this is very similar to Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off a little bit here.
Fine.
It goes straight from the cutscene into the combat. It's nice. But there's nothing really to talk about here, like you said.
Yeah, there's nothing with like the commands. If you translate those, it's all the same, right? I assume.
It is, yeah. No, you got attack, magic, items,
Okay.
menu.
Yeah.
You know, it's normal stuff.
Yeah, it's all pretty basic. Okay. And then we see the two black cloaked people. Who are these?
Those
I
are.
don't know. At this point, I'm lost on who these could even be anymore. Is it Master or Masters? I don't know.
Well, actually, you're right. Yeah, I think one of them is actually the Master of Masters. It's finding out who the other one is that's a little bit tricky, but the running theory is that it's Lushu.
That's what I was gonna say. Is it Lu? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. And then after that, I mean, pretty to the point trailer. I like this. So we get the logo. Let's talk about that really quick. I like the new font. It's good. I will say I don't think IV was the best. I don't know if going Roman numeral for this was the best idea, because from a distance it just looks like 3.
I mean, you're kind of right. I agree on that. The Roman numerals, they don't pop as much. That they could change that down the road. But yeah, I will say about the font is the reason that they've changed the font for this is actually because we're going into this new arc.
Yeah,
it's Boss Master arc.
It's phase 2.
Yeah, it's phase 2. Phase 2. Yeah, exactly.
It's nice.
Dude, you know all your stuff.
Yeah, a little bit. And then after that, we get to see the boys, Donald and Goofy.
The boys.
And I gotta say, it's always jarring to hear them speaking Japanese. Because they got like the perfect voice actors for it. They sound exactly like them in English, but just Japanese. And this is where we get the confirmation of Olympus, because we see Hades at the end.
Yeah, dude. Hades, I was freaking out about this, man, because that means we're gonna get Olympus in literally every single Kingdom Hearts game officially. Like, they're never gonna lose this world.
Olympus. They like Olympus.
They like Olympus.
As long as they don't bring back Agrabah again.
Oh no, God no.
That's all I care about. As long as it's not Agrabah, because Olympus in Kingdom Hearts 3 was awesome. So any more of that?
It was.
I'm fine with that. Not much to say on them though. I mean, they look good. So let's talk about. Let me go here. Let's talk about one of the main things I've seen people debating on Twitter is the graphics, specifically with the character design of Sora. He looks very realistic. This is very like you could say this is a trailer for Final Fantasy 16 almost, or character models from that, and it would fit, or even Final Fantasy 15. He looks realistic in that style. People seem to not understand how Kingdom Hearts works. He's in a world where things look realistic, right?
Yeah. Exactly. This is the world of unreality. His reality is all cartoony, so it'd be unreality, and that's why he looks.
I love that unreality is just our world.
Yeah.
that's the
taxes and jobs.
Yeah, exactly. So for everybody freaking out that they ruined the graphics, I mean, they literally show Donald and Goofy at the end. They look the exact same, just better. So like,
yeah, exactly.
Now, I did see some theories that maybe Sora will look like this throughout the game, since he's in, like you're saying, this unreality. He'll be going to these worlds and it'll just look super jarring. I could see that. I don't know how it would really make sense. I don't know if you've seen those theories of him like keeping that style, because he's not. I don't know.
When it comes to that, I think that they could go that route, but also whenever Sora goes to a different world, his appearance will change because they have to keep that world order stuff that they're always blabbering on about. They change outfits, they change like whole species sometimes.
Cars,
so,
please.
Please, if they make a Cars world, man, it's over. The memes won't end.
It's over. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that really quick because everybody's freaking out about the graphics. Frankly, personally, I think it looks fine to begin with. If that's what it
Me too.
If that's what it looked like, I'd be okay with that. But I don't think it's going to look like that for every world, obviously. But let's talk about the worlds, and we'll get into it. This is where I think the majority of the discussion is gonna lie, personally. So we talked about Endor a little bit. Do you think that's it for Star Wars? Because Star Wars is a lot. It's a lot to just be like, okay, this is the one Star Wars world. It probably is. Knowing Kingdom Hearts, they do one world per movie, but like, I don't know. There's a lot of Star Wars to cover.
There is. I mean, Star Wars isn't just one world. It's a whole galaxy, right? So if anything, I think that they should like at least expand it to like maybe 3 worlds. Like you could have Endor for 1, maybe Mustafar or something. I don't know how like savvy you are on Star Wars or anything, but there's a lot of different places that they could do.
Yeah. Jakku. I mean,
Jakku.
Yeah, there's
any of them.
Tatooine. I mean,
there's plenty.
There's plenty of places to choose from. I think Endor is a good choice if that's the only one, honestly. So
looks very neat.
It does look. Yeah. Talking about the graphics again, it looks beautiful. Like in engine, this looks fantastic. They said it's currently being developed on Unreal 4, correct? But it's gonna move to 5. Or did I read? Is someone making that up?
So from what I gather, you're right. It is being like made in Unreal Engine 4, but it might be moving over to 5 because that's like the new engine that just happened.
Yeah, so I would assume it would move. So yeah, more worlds. Before we talk about Marvel, because that's a whole can of beans. Let's talk about other Disney worlds that we think could be in this. So when debating this, I think we need to temper our expectations. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, a Turning Red world would be great," or a Luca world. No, it's too late. It's too late. This game probably started development, or maybe not even started development. This game's like planning document, however you want to call it, was probably done in 2019 or 2020. So whatever worlds are going to be in it, I think were finalized back then. They could have maybe predicted that Encanto was going to be a huge success, and we're like, all right, let's do Encanto. But I don't think so. Do you agree with that?
I kind of have to because, assuming that this started production like right after Kingdom Hearts 3 was done, any movies that came out like during that time or like before, it's just less likely. It's not impossible, but it's less likely. I know that they were adding like newer movies because, we got like Frozen and stuff in there, and Kingdom Hearts 3 has been in production way before Frozen came out. So, I mean, anything's possible, but it's just less likely. You know,
I will say, out of everything that's modern Pixar, and I am specifically talking Pixar here. I guess regular Disney. First of all, you have to assume Zootopia is going to be in this game. I don't think there's Zootopia has to be in here, right?
That's a fair bet. I think that's a fair bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Out of the modern stuff, though, I think you retweeted this. The theme of maybe all the new Pixar worlds will be about. I mean, there's a lot of Pixar movies about death.
Yes.
I think Soul has a pretty good chance, along with Coco. I think those are like. Almost locked. Coco's a lock. There's no way. Coco's not in this game.
Dude, I could go on for that. Like that post when I saw that, I was like,
yeah, exactly.
Flipping out my chair, like what? That makes so much sense because you got Hades, and then Coco could work, like you said. Soul is one I personally really want to see because I loved that movie.
I love that movie too. Yeah.
The theories. Thoughts, the ideas. I could go on for hours about that, but I don't want to go on for hours about that.
yeah, exactly. So, Pixar Worlds, I think this isn't Pixar. Zootopia, I think is a lock. Coco's, I think is a lock. Soul, if they wanted to, kind of reach out for more death themed worlds. Maybe Inside Out, that was pretty big when it came out. Other than that, though, I don't know how much further back they're gonna do. I don't personally want to see Incredibles, especially since Marvel's going to be in this game.
Yeah,
and I guess
I agree.
We can get to Marvel. So. Are you a big Marvel person? I don't know.
I am a pretty big Marvel person.
Okay, me too. How do they do this? They cannot just do New York. They can, right? They can, but they shouldn't. We already have Quadratum or whatever, which is a realistic world. So having New York, I feel like would be kind of boring.
It feels like it would, right? Yeah, because most of the stuff happening in Avengers and stuff, it happens in New York.
Spider-Man, yeah, like it's.
It just would feel like kind of boring because we already got like this whole Quadratum city going on, and then you throw New York in there, and you just got like two big cities. That's not like a whole lot of variety there, you know?
Yeah, and we already have the Big Hero 6 world too, which is already like another city world, which was, I mean, that's a different game, obviously, but like.
The way I think they could handle Marvel is maybe just include superheroes in the world of Quadratum.
Okay.
Like, what if they threw Spider-Man and they're just like swinging around, and you have to like chase him down in order to talk to him or whatever?
Yeah.
That's how you get that chain thing that we saw in the trailer, where you can like whip it out and like use that to swing. I think that could be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think New York is the way to go. The funny thing is, with Marvel's so big, there's not like that many locations. I think Asgard they could do, but then you're only gonna have Thor there, which is boring. I like Thor a lot, but like that's lame. They could do Wakanda.
Who doesn't love Thor?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Wakanda.
Wakanda would be good, but in terms of all-encompassing, having a bunch of Marvel characters, New York would be the best setting. In terms of it, they don't have to make it make sense. It doesn't need to make sense. It's Kingdom Hearts.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't need to make sense. I guess. But
you could have Lightning McQueen driving down the street and Spider-Man stopping to take a selfie, and I wouldn't care. I'd just say, yeah, Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I will say, though, so you seem excited at the prospect of Marvel being in this game. I don't know. Obviously, I like Marvel a lot, and I want to see that. And I like Star Wars, and I want to see that. I mean, that's confirmed. But, like, Kingdom Hearts was kind of our last bastion, pun intended, of, like, Disney in a game. So
Yeah.
like, I just hope if they do it, they hold back, man, because I want more Pixar, I want more Disney Worlds. I don't want it to just be Star Wars or Disney.
I have to agree with you. I really do,
I mean,
because
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, we know Olympus is in the game, so like, we should be fine. But like, I just have that fear, especially now that Square Enix clearly has a very good relationship with Disney, making Avengers, making Guardians of the Galaxy, making Kingdom Hearts. They might just be like, okay, Marvel, Spider-Man, make money. Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Spider-Man won't be in this game because of Sony. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. You're right.
Yeah.
As unfortunate as that is, because I love Spider-Man.
If there was one, it'd be Spider-Man. But unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen because of Sony. So I guess, yeah, last thing I want to talk about with you, Key, is just the game's developments and when we think it's gonna come out. So, when do you think this game's coming out?
Another running gag is like, oh, Kingdom Hearts 4, see you in 10 years.
See you in 2042.
Yeah. But I don't know. The fact that I didn't expect this right away, right? I didn't expect Kingdom Hearts 4 to come so soon, especially since we had Kingdom Hearts 3 literally 3 years ago. I wasn't expecting a Kingdom Hearts 4 for like another 2 more years for even just a trailer. But seeing as how we have a trailer now, we're probably further along in development than what they're showing. I could see this coming out maybe in like 2025 as a good guess.
I think
maybe like early 2025. Yeah,
I think that sounds right.
I'm confident.
Well, because I might be wrong. Excuse me. Nomura is only doing this right now. He's not doing Remake Part 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, correct? I don't think he's doing that. Which means he's only doing Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, he's working on Kingdom Hearts solely because it's like his passion project. But when it comes to Final Fantasy VII, I think there's a whole other team working on that. There's like 4 teams on Kingdom Hearts. And he's probably like going between the 2 projects, kind of like supervising Final Fantasy VII, but having most of his focus on Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Whereas with Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1, he was completely hands-on on both.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and that's why they're both phenomenal games.
Yes, but that's also why they took so damn long. Which is why I think your 2025 prediction, maybe even, probably not late 2024, but maybe, you know, I don't think that's that out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
And and I will say, it just random thought, it is crazy to think that Kingdom Hearts 3 reveal was almost 10 years ago. I was looking at the calendar, I was like, dude, that was almost, I guess it's not, if you think about like regular game releases, this isn't that crazy that this game was announced, especially when you consider that we had the NVIDIA leak, and when I saw that leak, which leaked a ton of games, and I think almost like 90% of that list is confirmed at this point, in my mind, I wasn't thinking they were all going to be revealed within a year. I thought it'd be years, multiple. Everything's happened so fast. Like, what's left on that list? Is it just 9 Remake, I think? In terms of like the main stuff?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at the list myself. I mostly just heard about the list because of Kingdom Hearts 4 being on there, and then also the Final Fantasy 9 stuff, like you said, which honestly, I'd be excited to try Final Fantasy 9. A little off topic, but I've never played that game, and I thought it'd be cool.
Me neither. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, so, I mean, I think we're both in agreement. This game will probably come out within 3 years.
Sounds about right.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, hopefully, I don't know. With Final Fantasy 16 being delayed or whatever, I don't know. Not delayed. They never gave it a date, but like, Square Enix needs to release games. They've been doing good. They've been doing really good recently, so hopefully they can keep it up. But with that said, Keith, thank you so much for joining me. Where can people follow you on the internet?
Well, got Twitter, at KeyofTime15. On YouTube, I'm just Key, but if you look up KeyofTime15, you can find me that way. Instagram, Discord, all that stuff. If you follow me on Twitter, you can find everything. But thank you for having me on, dude. Seriously, it's been a pleasure. I've been watching your channel for a good while now, and I love the stuff you do, so I appreciate you reaching out and having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you joining me. I needed someone to keep me in line with all this Kingdom Hearts lore. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Talks Media. Subscribe here for more Nintendo stuff. Kingdom Hearts, you know, hey, there's the cloud versions. It's a Nintendo game now.
Don't trust the cloud versions.
Don't trust the cloud versions. Don't trust the cloud versions. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.